We all know it's flu season this year. What makes it worse is the H1N1. It's already killed over 6,000 people worldwide, and the majority have been in our part of the world, in the Americas. That's according to the World Health Organization, also known as WHO, whose website was last dated on November 1st. It's spreading so fast that the Director General of WHO placed the world on a level 6 alert on January 6th when the H1N1 reached a global pandemic status. As of November 1, it's in 199 countries and territories. The good news is that we have a specific vaccine for the H1N1, and it's the best weapon available, yet only about half of us will become inoculated. Our actions and our choices affect its spread. We must become inoculated. I will begin by explaining why the superbug evolved, how it attacks us, followed with some behaviors that we practice that facilitate its spread and mutation, and I will finish with what we can do to arm ourselves now and in the future. This is the graph of our nation, national being ours. This is the normal visits per doctor for flu-like symptoms. These are the last 2 years. This would be 08 and 07, and then of course the red is 09. On week 43, which was October 24th, you can see we're already off the charts. Instead of having average of 1 or 2 people coming in having a flu, 66.1% of people going in with flu symptoms have the H1N1. That's this year. The swine flu is deadly for young and old persons. According to Jay Barron's New York Times article on June 2nd, he refers to 2 people that passed away from the H1N1 complication, a 2-year-old and a 54-year-old. This virus is a combination of four different viruses that have mutated into a very virulent enemy. For the New England Journal of Medicine article, written on the web on 6/29 by Dr. Morens and several of his colleagues, he states that the H1N1 is 4-fold in potency, and it has roots in the Spanish flu that killed 50 million people. The 4 separate origins would be 2 swine, 1 avian, and a human gene that have combined into one relentless parasite that's attacking us all. The H1N1 spreads by droplets and replicates within our body in our respiratory system. This allows it to transmit easily from person to person. A single sneeze can disperse more than 100,000 viral cells, and some of them stay active for up to 48 hours on surfaces. And per the National Geographic Naked Science series, titled Swine Flu, The Science of Pandemic, viruses are living organisms, and they want to live as much as we do. For Dr. Fossey, one of the directors of the National Institute of Health, and also co-author of the New England Journal of Medicine that I referred to earlier, states that when the virus is losing the battle, it changes in small and large ways so that our bodies don't recognize it. This allows it to survive undetected as it mutates into another strain, hence why it's been with us since 1918. However, it's easier to contain now than it was 90 years ago, if we follow the expert advice. Get your flu shot. In addition, Kay Sebelius, Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, stated during a meeting in front of government health officials that immunity can be rendered within 10 days after vaccination. So why isn't everyone planning to get a flu shot? Well, I believe it's misinformation. People believe swine flu gives you the flu. It does not. This has had a major impact on the spread of the influenza. The vaccine is the most powerful weapon we have, yet 44% of U.S. citizens are not willing to become inoculated. That's for a 60-minute segment that aired on November 1st. These are 3 typical reasons that people avoid vaccinations. I don't like shots, I don't want to deliberately get the flu, and I'm healthy and I never get sick. Well, they have ripple effects. Oops. Sorry. Okay, the first, shots. Who likes shots? Nobody likes shots, right? Well, that's why we have a vaccine. And if you're really terrified there's the nasal spray available for you. But don't do what some well-intentioned parents do by having swine flu parties. They're not a good idea. In fact, Dr. Stivers of Desert Urgent Care was interviewed on October 10th by our local news station, KPSB, and asked for his professional opinion. His answer, paraphrase, was, "It's not a good idea. What if your child has an adverse effect or worse? A parent knowing that they intentionally infected their child would have more than one crisis to deal with." Next, I don't want to deliberately get the flu. Well, that's why the immunity vaccine is with us, to avoid getting the flu. It's only a part of a dead virus that's used in the injection. The spray is a weakened one. Neither causes the flu. And per the CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, question and answer portion, which was last updated on November 3rd on their website, albeit you may have a chance of some discomfort, but you will not feel the effects of the flu. I have to do this. And lastly, I'm healthy and I never get sick. While this H1N1 does not behave like a regular bug, it spreads very quickly. And per the National Geographic program that I mentioned earlier, this swine flu spreads so quickly that we may not have time to fight it using our normal antibody defense system. If medical help is not available, we can win some of the battles, but the war can be lost. Most of the action is taking place in your lungs, and they're being ripped to shreds as your antibodies attack the virus as well as adjacent healthy lung tissue. The result, you have pneumonia, and you may die as your lungs fill with liquids. Sounds gruesome, huh? I wouldn't want to die that way. So why chance it? This pandemic is real, and it's very dangerous to all of us. Furthermore, per Fox 11 Online News on October 21st, the city reports that more than half of hospitalizations are due to the H1N1 for persons under the age of 25. As stated earlier, this is not going to be a regular flu season. It's targeting mainly the young folks, not the elders. So what can we do? Well, we can take defensive action now. Take defensive action now and bring in the big guns before they're needed. Get your shot. Follow preventive measures and pass the knowledge on. The best defense is a good offense. I'm going to give you a vaccine information statement issued by the CDC on October 12th. It answers a myriad of questions that you might have regarding the H1 influenza vaccine itself. And of course, these are preventive measures. Get a shot. If you're sneezing or coughing, cover it up. Please keep your hands clean. Also keep them away from your face. And if you are ill, please stay at home. We don't need spreading the flu. And in addition, the vaccine is still the best defense. It has not mutated since it was created in April. So you should get your vaccine shots. Please don't be among the 44% that think it's unsafe or unreliable. It's very effective. And if you're sick at home, please only use one bathroom. Have everyone else in your house avoid it or enter only to disinfect it. So let me quickly review what you know. You now know how and why the H1N1 mutates. You know behaviors to help spread that. You know the behaviors that help spread it. You know how to arm yourself, and you know what preventive measures to take. But please educate others. I have found that what I thought was common knowledge is not. You're all intelligent adults. Get your shots. Spread the word, not the virus. If we can work together, we can win the war one battle at a time. Our enemy is ever changing, and we must constantly rearm with updated technology, in this case, modern vaccines. So remember, your choices, your actions, your life, or maybe that of another one, you can make a difference.